How many triple backs will we see from Cam Nelson this week? Who is going to take the Quint meet at the West Point Open? Who is going to qualify to the 2024 Winter Cup? We have all the information for you. I'm Kinsley. I'm the host of Neutral Deductions, a podcast all about men's gymnastics, and we have got your Week 2 NCAA season preview here.
This is the Neutral Deductions podcast, men's gymnastic news, coverage, and analysis. Hosted by Kinsley Beal.
Michigan leads the pack after week 1 of competition, but will another team be able to knock them off the top seat? The Oklahoma Sooners enter their 20th season without a loss on their home turf, and led by captains Jack Freeman and Daniel Simmons, the Sooners are likely to keep their record as they take on Air Force at home. With the loss of key team members Spencer Goodell and Vitaly Guimaraes, the Sooners will look to fresh talent to fill the gaps. Though Emory Dodonley has been a key player in OU's lineups, he has a long season gearing up for the Olympics, and OU may choose to rest him at the season opener. For those of you who don't know, Emory Dodonley helped Turkey qualify their first ever team to the Olympics, and he was integral to that squad and is likely to be in the running for one of those Olympic spots as well. Now, for Oklahoma, while they are certainly expected to come away with the win at home, there will be a couple of key battles to keep an eye on. Specifically, I'm talking about pommel horse. I know pommel horse is not everyone's favorite event, but this is going to be where the key matchup is this week. So OU's Ignacio Yockers and Air Force Patrick Hoops are some of the best in the business on pommel horse and are the front runners for that title. They can go 6'3", 6'4" in difficulty, which is world class. And if they were ever selected for the U.S. national team, they would be certainly ones to consider to send to World Cup events. Air Force also has a really key player in Oliver Zevel and is expected to be in the fight for the all-around title if he opens the season competing all events. And this should be a battle between him and Fuzzy Bennis. This meet will also serve as a homecoming for Air Force's new assistant coach, David Henderson, who is a 4-time national champion with Oklahoma. The meet is going to be streamed live on ESPN+, and if you're local and want to go to the meet, they are also offering free gymnastics glow sticks for the first 500 spectators. This weekend, we will see 2 different competitions play host to Winter Cup qualifying, and one of them is the West Point Open. The 2-day event will give athletes the opportunity to test their stamina early in the season, and Penn State will face a back-to-back rematch with Army. They will also be joined in competition by Springfield College, William & Mary, and Navy. In truth, Penn State should leave the West Point Open 2-0, but will be looking for much more than just a win. Their opener against Army was not the complete meet that they would have wanted, and though they got the win, they will be in search of a much cleaner performance. Regardless of their overall performance, the Nittany Lions had the highest difficulty score of any team that competed in week 1 and will be looking to leverage that advantage in a Quint meet this weekend. Some questions remain surrounding the return of Michael Giroux. Giroux has been a key contributor to Penn State's lineup in past seasons, but due to injuries, he was forced to sit out of the opener in 2024. His teammates Michael Artlip and Landon Simpson are expected to be challenging for the all-around bids to the 2023 Winter Cup in Giroux's absence. With a home advantage, Army will be looking to improve upon a slow start to the season. Like Penn State, they certainly have had improvements to look forward to, specifically cleaning up dismounts. With 3 individuals having second-place victories last week against Penn State, Army will be looking for an individual event title on home turf. My pick is Maddox Papillon, who was the closest of any with only a 2/10 deficit to the first place on pommel horse. I also think Zachary Perez could definitely see some results on high bar. He had a really good routine last week, but his dismount was a little bit unclean, so if he cleans it up, he will be in the running for that high bar title. Academy rival Navy will be looking for a strong start to the season while on enemy turf. Led by all-around star Isaiah Drake, the top-ranked ECAC team will be the most likely to challenge Penn State for the top spot on the podium. Both Drake and Sam Barradiganta are the first All-Americans for Navy in 50 years, and they are certainly ones to watch out for this weekend. Springfield College will open the season ranked 12th, and while they are unlikely to challenge for the team title, they have a few key event stars that may challenge for spots on the podium. Junior Felix Kriederman had a strong start to the 2023 season with a 76.35 in the all-around and a 13.8 on floor. Sophomore Owen Carney had a strong vault and high bar last season, and freshman Peyton Kramer will be looking to have an immediate impact on pommel horse. Rounding out the only Quint meet of the weekend is William & Mary, named to the ECAC preseason watch list. 2023 USAG College Nationals all-around champion Aiden Kai will seek to solidify himself as one of the top all-arounders in the country. Kai will seek to lead the tribe to a strong start as the team seeks a bid to the NCAA National Championships. You can watch the meet live on YouTube. Again, this is a 2-part meet happening Friday, January 12th at 7 p.m. for team and all-around finals, and then event finals will be the following day, Saturday, January 13th, also at 7 p.m.
Neutral Deductions recently launched this year and is entirely funded by listener contributions. If you'd like to support the show and help promote men's gymnastics, kindly consider making a donation through the PayPal link provided in the show notes. All donations are greatly appreciated. Thank you.
The second Winter Cup qualifier is going to be the Wendy City Invitational hosted in Chicago, Illinois, and Illinois is returning to the Wendy City Invitational as the reigning champions. They are bringing a strong contingent and they have what it takes to repeat, but they will certainly face tough competition from the University of Michigan. Michigan currently leads the national standings after week 1 and will be looking to secure a score that will keep them as the #1 team in the nation. Their head coach, Xiao Yuan, has been explicit in stating that Michigan wants to return to the top of the podium at the 2024 NCAA championships. Michigan is also going to be fielding a strong duo of all-arounders that will be looking to secure a spot for the 2023 Winter Cup in Louisville, Kentucky, and that is freshman Pierce Wolfgang, who is undefeated this year and will look for the biggest title of his career thus far at the Wendy City Tri-Meet. And he will also be joined by Rithik Puri, who is a junior who is also a strong all-arounder. As a Winter Cup qualifier, several event specialists will have the opportunity to execute high difficulty score routines and then petition the men's program for a spot to compete in Louisville. For my pick, I think Illinois' Connor McCool is going to be one of the top candidates here. He can meet that 6.0 difficulty requirement. He often sticks his opening 2.5 double tack pass. It is exceptional and a great routine to watch. They also have exceptional difficulty in Brandon Dang on pommel horse and Ashton Anaya on still rings. And then if you go over to Michigan's Crew Bold on high bar can hit a 5.6 difficulty. He had a 14.4 last week on the event. And then also Javier Alfonso on still rings will be among those seeking to petition based on D-score, assuming they hit their routine this coming weekend. Now for Simpson, they are coming off a banner week and they stuck 9 dismounts and will be looking to up that number of hit routines during this second season. As a newcomer to the playing field, the most likely outcome is truly for them to be the 3rd out of 3 teams here. However, they do have a key individual who may surprise them for a spot on the podium. Sophomore Sterling Preza set a program all-around record of 76.9, earning ECAC and CGA honors for the week. The competition begins at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time in Chicago, moving all the way across the country to Stanford University at Cal for the Cal Benefit Cup. The 4-time back-to-back national champions are taking on California at home. With 5 guys currently on the senior national team, it would not be surprising to see Stanford rest some of its 14 returning veterans in favor of new faces like Zach Green and David Chama. I know for a fact that they will definitely be resting Brandon Briones at the beginning of the season, but they may be choosing to rest some of their other national team members as well, like Asher Hong and Koi Young. While it is certainly likely that Stanford is going to come away from this meet with a win, California's head coach JT Okada has highly touted Aiden Lee's new world-class pommel horse routine, which will likely challenge for the title, especially if Koi Young is resting. The Bears are looking forward to graduate student Derek Wong returning to the lineup after facing multiple injuries the past several seasons. He is expected to contribute on pommel horse and still rings. The event will take place at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific time.
Neutral Deductions is your exclusive gymnastics news platform focused entirely on men's gymnastics. To show your support, please subscribe to Neutral Deductions' YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram.
Rounding out the 5 meets this week is Ohio State versus Greenville. Greenville had their strongest season opener to date in their tri-meet against Michigan and Simpson. Despite 11 falls, Greenville came away with their second highest team score ever and 2 event titles. They will face tough competition at Ohio State against a strong championship-winning team, and the Buckeyes have eye-watering difficulty in Cameron Nelson, who can compete a triple back on not 1, not 2, but 3 different events: floor, still rings, and high bar. Little update shortly before we posted this, we heard from Cam Nelson, and sadly, he said he will not be doing any of his triple backs this weekend. He usually saves those for U.S. championships and maybe NCAA, so hopefully we'll get to see some of those later in the season. While Zach Connolly of Greenville came away with the floor title at Michigan, he will have much stiffer competition in Ohio. If Greenville's Logan Watterson is able to repeat his stock cause 1.5, he may come away with the second vault title of his career. His 14.95 is higher than any of the career high vaults from the Buckeyes, and while Ohio State is more than likely to take the win at home, it won't be a walk in the park. Be on the lookout for the freshman debut of Chase Davenport Mills, as he is likely to be a key contributor this year. You can watch the action live on the Big Ten Network on on Saturday, January 13th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. If you would please like and subscribe to this video, it really does help us out. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're trying to get to 1,000 listening hours on Spotify and Apple Podcasts so that we can monetize and bring you more men's gymnastics coverage live. And if you would please rate and review us over on Apple Podcasts as well. That really helps us out and helps other people find this podcast. If you have any questions for me, you can email me at neutraldeductions@gmail.com. That's all for this week. We'll see you next time.